That's what's really going on here.
Let's end with this. Has anybody watched Chappelle's The Closer?
I did. Incredible.
I watched it.
Pretty incredible. I mean, fearless.
Fearless is a word. I was really, I think that he slightly missed it because I think he could have really actually called out cancel culture and wokeism more. I think he kind of left it a little bit to me where I was like a little, I don't know. I just didn't think they were as good as his other ones. And I felt like he didn't really make the point he wanted to make.
It was a little convoluted.
We need somebody who can actually stand up and actually, be more satirical and tell the story of why all this cancel culture and defamatory statements and judging people doesn't make sense. But then
did he seem
he didn't get the job done, I felt like.
Well, let me ask you this about the performance. Did he seem qualitatively different than you in that the other times he seemed very light on his feet, having a good time, being a comedian, and this time it felt like he was personally hurt or he was...
It wasn't comedy.
It was less... It felt less comedic, I agree. It felt like he had an agenda, he was hurt, he wanted to get some stuff off his chest, and there were some jokes in between, which is very different. Like the percentage of jokes in this is like 20% and the like heavy
max.
And then the other ones were 80% jokes, 20% social commentary. This felt like he was actually really hurt and like, I don't want to say bitter, but just fed up, maybe frustrated. He had a chip, which made it interesting to me.
In the early 2000s, Chappelle for me was really important because he was an advocate for minorities. And I felt seen and protected by Chappelle. And I thought that was really important. And then his comedy was just so sharp.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that it was a little bit of an opportunity lost.
Yeah.
I think if he had really actually taken it to its conclusion, he would have actually... There was just too many uncomfortable moments in that thing.
It was super uncomfortable at times. And I really would like to see it again because, if you just think about his career, him talking about police brutality, him talking about race in a very fearless, entertaining, but also informative way and just being a truth teller. Yeah, this was so uncomfortable at times. I agree with that. I need to watch it again and I need to let it sit because I was taking... It's on Netflix. It's the last in his contract. Yeah, I mean, this could be... I almost felt like he was trying to break Netflix because he does seem to have a streak in him where he's like, okay, I'm walking away from Comedy Central, and he does seem to burn the boats. This felt like he was burning the boats with Netflix to me. I don't know if you got that vibe where he was like, this is the last one. I'm being canceled after this. Fuck y'all, I'm out. And he has that. I mean, he torched it, Sacks. I mean, you're going to watch this thing.
Oh, now I'm definitely watching it. I have not seen it yet, but I'm definitely watching it. I'll watch it tonight.
I give it a 50% chance that Netflix takes it down.
Well, let's watch it quickly then.
Well, everybody was screaming for him to be deplatformed. Everybody was screaming.
Well, then I like it even more. One of the ironic things about these warning labels, I've noticed they've started to become a badge of honor where, if the hall monitors at Twitter are trying to label your tweet as being incendiary, maybe it's just interesting, right?
Buy.
I mean,
it's a buy signal.
Yeah, exactly. So, I was listening to Antonio Garcia Martinez interview Camille on Call-In, and they labeled that. I mean, just the post about they were going to have a conversation.
You're saying the link to it was even flagged as like, oh my Lord. I think there needs to be a Netflix for a comedy where it's only subscription and it's owned by the comedians. Like if Dave Chappelle were to create his own Netflix, I think it gets 10 million paid subscribers in the first 2 years.
Overnight. Okay, so wait a second. How do we wet our beaks on this? If we go to Chappelle and we say, hey, listen, here's $25 million. We'll set up the tech team. You set up the comedians. I'll ask K-Hart. I'll ask him this weekend.
I think that, you get K-Hart, you get Chappelle, you get Seinfeld, you get, now do you get Louis C.K. in there? Or C.K., what's his name?
I never found that guy funny. That guy never did it for me.
I mean, anyway.
You know who's funny? Who's funny? Have you had this Asian guy, Ronnie Cheng? He's on... there's a great Netflix special on him. He is fucking funny. And then Joe Coy is very funny.
Yeah. I think Ronnie Cheng taped his own special.
Hassan Minhaj, that guy's very funny.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
He's legit.
But I mean, this would be a great way for them to, just control their destiny and not have to worry about cancel culture. Because I think a lot of the folks who are on...
Well, they are probably the last line of people that actually will be the defenders of free speech.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. As much as I think Facebook should be more thoughtful about their algorithm, back to, circling Netflix and censorship back to the Facebook issues. I just think Facebook should say, hey, listen, we've throttled the algorithm so that any one piece of content can only reach this many people over this period of time. And yeah, sure, that's going to lower our time on site or whatever. But we want things to have a little bit of time to spread and get fact checked. Does anybody think that that's a good idea to say, just, if you're trying to cancel somebody, instead of it going to number one on trending topics before the person has a trial, the algorithm would just take a little bit of time to propagate content?
Here's what I can tell you conclusively. If Facebook wanted to solve these issues in the ways that the government expects in their head for these problems to be solved, Facebook market cap would be $250 billion, and they'd have 1 million people working there at the company. So this is not an issue of whether it's possible. The question is it right? And does it actually get at the solution, or does it just, as Friedberg said, create whack-a-mole someplace else? And so, I don't know what obliterating $750 billion of market cap will do, but I suspect that the government is going to want to find out.
Sacks, do you think that throttling the velocity of the algorithm so that news doesn't spread as fast and violently, or which could be misinformation, could be valid information, do you think that's a possible solution?
Look, I think that at the end of the day,
or disclosing the algorithm, maybe?
With both Facebook and Twitter, you only see stuff from people who you're following or you're friends with. It's actually
not true.
What do you mean?
If they will insert stuff into your Twitter algorithm now that's adjacent to you, and Facebook will do that as well.
Well, maybe if people respond to someone who you're following, but I've never seen anything in my Twitter feed other than an ad that's not from somebody I follow. So
you never went to trending topics?
No, not my feed.
You don't hit the Explore feed? Oh, okay. No, but the Explore feed's right there. And they are surfacing things in your feed now that are not people you follow. But anyway, keep going.
What they're really doing, is there's a universe of people who you're following or you're friends with. And you could just see all of that content in a reverse chronological feed, but that would be too much. It'd be overwhelming.
That's how it originally worked.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. And that was fine. I liked it. Okay. But as you're following thousands of people now, there's too much content. And so they will simply surface the tweets that you're most likely to want to interact with. I don't believe, by the way, that those tweets are necessarily the ones that make you angry. I think for some people it is, clearly, but it's certainly not the case in my case. What I would say is it's more refined than that. It's the tweets that you think are interesting. It's the tweets that perhaps express a sense of outrage that agrees with your sense of outrage. It's a little different than anger, but it's basically the subset of content that you, through your revealed preferences, have shown Facebook or Twitter that you care about the most. And that's basically what they're doing. They're giving the consumer more of what they want. And I think that we've blown this thing so far out of proportion. There's an analogy that it's addictive, but I think that it's been blown so far out of proportion. We've exaggerated the fear beyond any reasonable recognition.
By the way, I think the reason that tweet was flagged, I'm guessing, is that in the tweet, Kamele says he's going to talk about critical race theory, and that may be why.
Or Twitter it could be because it was linking to the.
Well, Twitter just said this conversations like this can be intense. That's all it
I think because he says the gloves are coming off, it looks like people fighting or whatever. I just think it's sort of ridiculous. This is where the warning.
It's a little
label
patriarchal,
stuff,
yes. It's a little condescending. You can't handle this content.
Patronizing, I think is the word.
Patronizing, yeah. I'm
exactly.
circling now. I got the thesaurus up here. I'm not dumb. I got a thesaurus here.
I'm gonna monetize.
It's a very palindromic.
You should have looked out for me. You was my brother, Sacks.
I find it a little iconic.
Could have been a contender instead of what I am.
I'm smart, not like they say. Not dumb. Smart.
Where'd you get your fucking shoe shine box?
Oh shit!
Go
boys, I love you. Happy 50th episode.
And what's going on with you, Friedberg and Sacks, that you won't make the journey down to the poker game? Is this like some sort of David protest here?
Sacks, why don't you host
No
in the
Limit?
City? Sacks,
the
why don't you
robots
host
are
in the
protesting.
city?
I will come back. I will start playing again if we get the game going at like a regular time. Or is it?
What the fuck is on your schedule?
What are you talking about?
Nothing going on.
Okay.
Yeah, you have nothing going on, Sacks.
All right.
Zero.
I'll start
Stop
coming down.
evading your family. Stay in the city. Come.
See your fucking friends. Play some cards. Lose
Seriously.
some money. We're not playing PLO.
Yeah, no PLO.
I mean, we did at the end just to get Sky's money, but just to keep Sky there for another 30 minutes since he was flush in cash.
Beat him
and was
up
on
real
tilt.
good, Saxy Poo. We beat him up real
It was
good.
Skyfall. When you crumble. Actually, the new, I'm really excited to see the new Daniel Craig 007. I can't believe that.
Can you still rent an entire movie theater for like $50?
Yeah.
$300. So yeah,
It used to be it was $99 during the pandemic. It was awesome.
It's
I did it a few
$300
times.
now.
Now it's
and,
$300.
I haven't done it the last 2 times I went with the girls because it was first run movies and the theaters were pretty empty.
But sorry, it's $300. If you get like 10 of your friends to come, it's like
Get
basically
5
the same
of your
price
friends to
ticket.
come, it's worth it. I mean, that's $60
Oh, yeah.
each, and yeah, I mean it's.
Or
it's
we just go
$20
to
a ticket
Sax's
anyway.
theater. He's got.
The Sax's Theater is better because you have a chef there who will make your food. But yeah. And for those of you asking about the All In Summit, Sax and I are leading the charge for a February or April. We got a couple of locations. Thank you to everybody who sent us location ideas. 2 days, 250 people, 200 paid tickets, 50 by scholarship. And you can go to the All In website. When we have information, we will post it there. But we're just in the planning phase right now. But we're thinking 2 days, right, boys?
Yeah.
2 days for All In Summit, and then 5 hours of content, something like that a day. We each interview people.
Yeah.
And then we're done. Okay. And Miami is the host city, and we'll draw a high card for who picks the next city. Chamath, you said you're picking something in Italy. I'm going to probably pick my
Rome
home.
or Venice.
Rome or Venice. I'm going to probably pick New York for mine or Austin. And then Friedberg, where would you pick? Napa or something?
Marin County.
Oh, wow. Where everybody wants to go. Great. Go to anti-vaxxer town. Great.
Fuck you, Friedberg.
Marin County. Wow, what a destination.
No, but Friedberg, where would you pick?
It's a good
Where would you
question.
pick?
So we're doing Miami first? Is that right?
Miami's first, and we draw a high card for the next city. Who gets to pick next city? Each bestie picks for 4 years. Each buddy picks one. And if we go twice a year, even better.
I mean, I'd probably split it between London and
Ooh.
London and somewhere in Hawaii.
Ooh.
Wow.
Kauai,
good
maybe?
choices.
Kauai, yeah.
Hawaii's
Yeah.
an inspired choice. Can you imagine 250 degenerate,
London's great.
iconoclastic? But London would be, we would take
London's
over. We would
Yeah,
take over
yeah,
London.
excellent.
Miami is freaking out. that
Run
we chose
over
them.
Annabelle's, boys. I bring you all to Annabelle. That's incredible. That members club is, I think, the most over-the-top thing I've ever seen.
You're referencing something that no one knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, nobody knows what you're talking about. Is that a nightclub? Or
Yeah, it's a nightclub.
Private
Well,
club?
no, it's a private. It's a members club.
Annabelle's. It's
Oh, right.
it's
All
a lady
members
I
clubs
know.
in
She's
London,
down
yeah.
in the West End. Yeah.
No, you have to have members clubs in London because you can't drink alcohol after like 9 p.m. unless it's a private club.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all next time on the All In podcast. Here's to another 50, everybody. First 50 done.
Love you guys.
Let's get another 50 in the books.
We'll let your winners ride.
Rain Man David Sacks.
And instead, we open source it to the fans, and they've just gone crazy with it.
Love you, besties. Queen of Quinoa. Besties are back.
That is my dog taking a notice in your driveway. My haberdasher will meet me at Clinton.
We should all just get a room and just have one big huge orgy because they're all just useless. It's like this sexual tension that they just need to release somehow.
Wet your beak. Wet your beak.
Your feet.
That's gonna be good. We need to get merch.
Besties are
I'm
back.
going all in.